Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. Anyone who is doing some historic research and goes a little bit deeper into this, it is going to notice that shamans have been the first ones that have been attacked when Europeans came and started spreading around, and the spreading always was accompanied with a military arm of church, Catholic Church, the Jesuits. And we were told always, well, this is to spread the word of God, to save people, because only through Jesus or through God you can be saved. But as the Bible was spreading out, there was a systematic destruction of the culture, especially the shamanic culture, the healers. Why? Well, it is more and more obvious now, as I'm also showing, that nothing is circumstantial, everything is planned. And what is happening now was planned thousands of years ago. It was described in a Bible that was written 2,000 years ago. What says in the Bible that happened actually is happening now. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because the healing that was common throughout our planet, with the exception of areas that have been heavily affected with organized religion, the healing was always coming from 2 points: purge and quantum healing. Now, purge was actually serving the quantum because it was a physical expression of detox. But then quantum healing was performed. And the quantum healing, we would say, oh, it's a spiritual nonsense. This possibly cannot work. And this is what we are being always told. Well, voices in your head. This is devil talking. You know, this is how we are manipulated through religion. Recently, I have been asked a question. What is my opinion about the 7 principles of Huna? I had no idea what are those principles and what is Huna. So, luckily for internet, it took me about 2 minutes to get the answer. And this teaching of the 7 principles of Huna is the reason of this video. Because here we have a beautifully explained, concentrated, a quantum healing knowledge. Hawaiian people were using the same exact healing process as were the South American and North American and New Zealandians and the originals from Australia. All the natives. It is all tradition, and there were no chronic diseases because everything was healed, not cured. healed. First purge, you take some toxic plant and you throw your guts out. And you get your shits and you get your sweats. And when that calms down, and even during the whole process, when your mind is more opened, the ceremony, spiritual ceremony, was performed. Now, why is the ceremony necessary? Because it draws your attention. And then you trust it, you have your faith. Unless you lose it because somebody comes and tells you, no, 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 no. The only salvation is through this picture over here, and if you don't bow to this picture and give us some money, there is no way you are going to be saved. And then doubt starts setting in, and you start losing the God-given power. Creator's given power, better say. Because word God, Allah, Yeshua, these are all symbols. Even Jesus, his name was not Jesus, was Isu, or Isus. We twisted everything, marginalized, but actually turned the good into bad. And this is the purpose of religion, just to control you, nothing more. Because the truth is not being told. You can find it in scriptures, but you have to know what you're looking for. And you have to be willing to realize that everything is written through the customs of people at that time, when this was written. And can or cannot be applied now, because customs have changed. So it looks ridiculous. Seeing those nuns and those priests and those cardinals in those robes, it's all ceremonial bull to make impact and to bring in fear. Nothing more. Fear. You don't see love when you see that, you see fear. So, what are the 7 principles of Huna? What is this quantum healing? How did they heal on a quantum level? Well, again, I have to go here through the article. And the first principle is Ike, which means the world is what you think it is. Well, this is what quantum understanding teaches you. There are infinite points of contact. It depends on your ego, the accumulated information and your programs to now create your reality using all this information. But it is your ego that creates the reality based on all these things. So, what you are thinking is what your ego comes up with as the most believable occurrence, reality. Something that it's expecting to happen, to see as reality because it makes sense to it. So your mind actually controls your reality. And this is what Ike means. The world is what you think it is. Actually, the word better say is what you know it is. Because you have to be convinced this is what gives you faith. Without faith, nothing occurs. The second one is kala, which means there are no limits. Everything is possible. Well, this is the quantum sacred geometry. Infinite points of contacts, infinite possibilities. It is your consciousness, your ego, consciousness of physicality, your ego, I am of physicality, that decides what to project as reality according to what makes sense to it. The third one is Makya. Energy flows where attention goes. This is exactly what is crucial if you want to manifest. You have to put your attention to the thing. Where attention goes, well, this is the main focus. I explained many times. You want to materialize, I don't know, beautiful house. And you are poor. And you don't have any house. Well, you close your eyes, you envision what you want to see. But then, ego goes, consciousness of physicality, and says, well, according to the information that I have, you need a lot of money to get this house. And to the information that I have, well, you need a better salary. And to the information that I have, there is no way to get better salary until you get better job. And to the information I have, to get better job, higher paid job, you need to have even more experience, or you have to have a higher schooling. So now, because of all the information, you lose your focus on what you originally wanted. You start manifesting everything else. You end up getting in a school, getting different job, making more money, and it takes you whole your life before you get to that freaking house that you wanted. It took me 2 years to manifest boat in early 1990s. Double-masted, 47-foot sailing ketch, ocean going, while having $150,000 debt that my wife had from collapsed business. I did not change the job. I did not go to school additionally. I was making money just to pay enough for the rent and food and to have a little bit aside. And I needed, for the used one that was, I need $80,000. I got a great deal because it needed repairs. But $80,000 to me, where am I going to get it? So if I would have focused, but plus I did not know about this $80,000 because every boat that was that size and that type of a structure that can go anywhere was about $200,000 plus, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. So how the heck am I going to get this? Well, definitely not by thinking how to get it. You want to manifest, you focus on what you want. And ignore thinking how to get there. Because if you think how to get there, you lose your focus. You start manifesting all the other stuff, which makes sense to your ego. Ego will only manifest what it makes sense to it and that it can believe, and because of it has faith to it. So it's expectation. So the only way you can actually manifest is focusing on exactly what you want to manifest. And this is it. Energy flows where attention goes. Now, fourth law is manawa, means now is the moment of power. And this is again from quantum point. Everything happens now. Now changes future. It changes events. You cannot fix what has happened, and you cannot do anything about what is coming. You can only act on what is now. And because we get trapped in what was happening before and what is ahead of us, we are too tired to manifest in now, and too confused, frightened. I mentioned when I was kickboxing, and I knew I have tournament, and I knew my opponent. Well, there were usually few, but I knew team I was going to go against, and I knew whom they're going to set against me. For a week before tournament, I had this stuff in my chest, squeezing. It was kind of anxiety, because you know what you are going up to. So you train like crazy, you don't sleep well, but moment comes, and I step into the ring, my gloves on, my mouthpiece in, ready to fight. All of a sudden I'm cool, I'm cold like ice. All anxiety is gone, because now you focus on now and you deal with it. And what happens? After 3 minutes it's all done, and then you talk to yourself, what a freaking idiot. 1 week I was preoccupied with what is going to be with this tournament. And then it's over, and nothing happened. Doesn't matter if I win, if I lose, if it's a draw, doesn't matter. But I have wasted so much time thinking about it. And it was big nothing. And it is always like this. We always anticipate a problem, which often never happens. And more you anticipate, the more time you create, the faster you age. You create time through anticipation. What happens as a child when you're in a school? And if it is subject you don't like, your eyes are constantly on the clock. If you have a clock in a classroom, you always look, oh, half hour more, oh, 25 more minutes, 15 more minutes, 10 more minutes, 2 more minutes, 1.5 more minute, 1 minute, 45 seconds, 35 seconds. You count every freaking second. Time is dragging forever. Comes vacation, 2 months school vacation, bingo! You just remember the day when it started and the day when you have to go back to school. The rest just flew by. Why? Because you were living in now. You were not anticipating, you were not in fear. The only time you can act is now. So when the time comes, do it, live. Don't worry about what happened and what is going to happen. The original people from Australia, when someone dies, no matter how dear it is to the tribe or to the family, from a moment they die, you cannot talk, say, mention their name again. Why? Because you don't want to go back. You don't want to be held by this energy. You liberate yourself. So, Manawa, now is the moment of power. Now. Use it. Enjoy it. Don't dwell about what has happened or what is going to happen. The fifth one, aloha. To love is to be happy, or to be happy with. Whenever you have a problem, whenever you feel sad, the easiest way to get out of it is put a smile on your face. I know it's not customary, but if you feel sad, if you feel in fear, if you just don't feel right, if the toxic energy, emotion is around, put smile, because smile tightens the muscles and opens the conduit to the heart. And you get the heart pineal gland connection. This is when we say we have to go into our heart. The easiest way to get there is through smile. Try it. Whenever you feel pissed, put a smile on your face. Whenever you want to curse someone because they did something to you, first put a smile on your face, and you'll see if you will be able to curse. Or if you start laughing, thinking how ridiculous the whole thing is. Smile, love, has healing powers. It raises your voltage. When you raise your voltage, you strengthen your vibrational fields. And then they cannot be moved. And when you resonate correctly, you are healthy. Quantum knowledge. Mana is the sixth law. All power comes from within. Yeah? Because you create your reality. It is about how your ego perceives it. Your ego controls the information that comes in. Now, if you give the power to somebody else, you get easily misinformed, and this is what we are doing. We give the power. We give the power to the teacher. We give a power to the priest. We give a power to politician. And we end up being slaves. All the power is within for you to use. More of it you give away, the weaker you become, and the easier it is to manipulate with you. My knowledge didn't come from any book. I did not follow anybody. Yes, I got help. So many things came directly through intuition. But then when something was missing and I did not know how to get there, then I was helped. If not intuition, somebody gave me suggestion. Like this time, friend asked question. What do you think about the 7 principles of Huna? So, pop, look into it. And it all makes perfect sense. It is important to know several things to understand our reality. Number one is the sacred geometry. If we do not understand the sacred geometry, the geometry of creation, then we are always lost. We'll be fishing. This is one of the most important things that I had to learn, that basically settled everything else. And it came through books of Flower of Life from Drumala Melchizedek. And this is why I call him my master. I never saw the guy other than in ayahuasca once. Never talked to him, only in that instant, briefly. But still, he is my master, because information is the master, and he is the one who provided it. If you don't know anything about sacred geometry, read those books. It's all truth. As long as you understand who you are, nothing can really touch you, because there is no fear. Fear is gone. The 7th one, the last one, is pono. Effectiveness is the measure of truth. Well, this you can see on Self-Healer's protocol. Why is Self-Healer's protocol effective? Because it is truth. The only thing that our body needs for healing is to be able to cleanse itself, which means has to be hydrated, and hydration is not through water but through plasma, water with minerals. And then it is good to be clean and not to pollute your body with toxic frequencies. Every time you cook food, you are changing its vibration. And you know it because your senses pick up the changes in vibration. Through smell, you notice that the smell has changed, frequency has changed. Through light, through eyes, you see that color have changed when you are cooking. Another frequency is changed. Through the sense of taste, you discover that taste has changed. Another frequency is off. Through the sense of touch, you feel that Now the cooked food is softer or harder than it was. So another frequency has changed. So now it is like every frequency is produced by, let's say, one instrument. So your food is a small addition to your orchestra that runs your body, that music that you produce. And it's all tuned, let's say, to 420 hertz as a basic A sound, A note of the scale that your body plays. And now you put in small orchestra some food that you have changed the frequency into 430 hertz because you raised it through heat. And even those instruments are still tuned, but they are tuned in different scale. And now even if they play the same song as your body, it's going to be noise, it's going to be off-tuned. Your brain picks it up and shows it to you as a blemish. It will influence shift of your frequencies. Now, yes, you can return those frequencies. You can make your original frequencies resonate properly by correcting the resonance. How? Through voltage. You have to raise the voltage. How do you raise the voltage? Losing a fear, accepting, allowing, knowing. I've explained on cancer that some people, terminally ill, full of cancer, sent home to die, forgot about the cancer, they made peace with themselves, and decided to, the last few months of their life, to have really ball. And they did nothing but what they wanted to do. Partying every night, drinking, being with different people, traveling. Yeah, after 3 months, they are healthy. The body is still polluted and toxic, but no disease, no cancer. They feel great. Why? Because they lost the fear. And they lived in now, enjoying every second of their life. This raised the voltage, because you are not transmitting nonsense. The energy that your toroidal field produces goes in the brain, fractures in different frequencies, and floods all your organs. So even if cells are toxic, organs are toxic, they cannot hold the charge, doesn't matter. You are constantly plugged to the ultimate energy outlet, which is your heart. My wife's laptop is like mine, is 7 years old, but already 2 years ago lost power, energy. Battery got bad. Its internal battery, it was expensive to get it, to fix it. So we use it constantly plugged, and it works perfectly. You unplug it, dies. But as long as it has a power going on, it works. Same is with our body. Our body is an electronic robot. If it is constantly plugged, means plugged to your toroidal field, to your heart, and if you don't interfere by draining out certain frequencies through your thought, through your fear, then there's constant connection, constant fueling of your system with heart energy through all frequencies. Voltage is high and frequency is stable. No matter what kind of poison you put there, you cannot divert this frequency. This is the spontaneous remission. This is the type of healing that people experience in the presence of Jesus Christ. Why? Because their ego was convinced in the presence of greatness, all diseases goes away. You yourself are creating this. Quantum. So here are the 7 principles of Huna. All make perfect quantic sense. Thank you for listening. Love you all.